Arch Manning was probably the most hyped up QB in college football ever before he even ever started a full game against a ranked opponent. Arch was projected to be the Heisman and first overall pick, even without starting a game against a ranked opponent. This is before Arch had even ever thrown a ball against a ranked opponent in the first place, and in his first starting season, Arch had to play Ohio State, defending Natty champion, as the first televised game of Week 1, as his first ever game, truly starting when it mattered. While Arch did start a couple games last season while Quinn Ewers was injured, this was his first real opponent. Arch played 2 games and a half a game when Quinn Ewers got injured, and in his half game against UTSA, Arch had 9 completions, 12 attempts, 223 yards, 4 passing touchdowns, 53 rushing yards, and a rushing touchdown in a 56-7 win, in which he looked pretty good. 15 for 29, 258 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a 51-3 win against UL Monroe, and 26 for 31, 325 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, no interceptions, 33 rushing yards, and 1 rushing touchdown, and a 35-13 win over Mississippi State. Arch Manning had a very below average game against UL Monroe, and they still back to the Ohio State game. All I wanted as an Arch supporter for the future was for him to show flashes of something, just anything. The ability to throw on the run, the ability to stay calm in the pocket, just anything. I didn't care if he was perfect. I just wanted something. Accuracy, pocket mobility, poise in the pocket, like something. Without going too much further into detail, I'm going to break down Arch's game against Ohio State and go into detail about his future. Alright, first play of the game, first throw of the game. You have a fake jet screen coming down here, coming under. So you have a little check down. You're going to see right here, he's going to come up and then do a little out route. And you see, they could be manned up. There's a 1 high safety, 2 linebackers right down the middle, running back down, huge gap up here. Expecting maybe one of them to try and close this gap if it's a blitz. You have everything. This is a disguise coverage. And you're going to see through this jet sweep what the coverage is. He doesn't look like he's moving right now, pre-snap. He's getting ready to move for the jet sweep. If he doesn't look like he's moving, this is a zone. You can easily find him right through this gap if he drops. If he falls back, he drops. Say he falls a little bit. You can easily have him come through. You have an easy completion. You also have one of these tight ends. I think it's him. He's going to come through just like this. So you have 3 moving players, and I believe he goes for a streak. Take out number 7 from the game. For Arch Manning, this is an easy read. So I'm going to start to play it. You're going to see exactly as foretold. Safety drops. You have moving downfield 1 and then 2 defenders against 1, 2, 3. This linebacker drops. Broken coverage. You have 3 wide open reads for Arch Manning. One of them has to be thrown to. He's wide open. You're not going to want to throw down to the check down because he's not going to get many yards. Number 3 can easily stop it. You're looking for right here if this guy flips his hip and goes downfield. And what does Arch do? Pisses his fucking pants. You got 1, 2, 3 wide open players. Maybe not the check down because you see him dropping down. But you have 1 open player, 2 open players, probably 3 open players. If it's a little contested, but sure. Wide open. And he sails it in between them. And it was a perfectly designed play for Arch to get the jitters out in the big shoe, complete a pass somewhere, maybe hit the check down for a couple yards. Maybe you don't throw downfield right away because it's a loud environment. It's your first time playing at a ranked opponent at Ohio State in one of the worst home field advantages. And you absolutely airball a wide open read that would have given you a 20-yard completion at least. Could have hit the tight end for a 15-yard completion at least. And he couldn't do either of those things. All right, now on this play, you have streak here. He's going to come outside. You have a streak here. These 2 have a little in route. It's not a deep in route. It's maybe like a 2-3 yard in route that they both run, with the running back kind of shooting out towards the 30 marker. And you see here, unaligned safeties, heavy box. Right here, there's a lot of pass rushers. Could this be a blitz? You have three quick options. If there's a blitz and maybe they're faking the coverage and the safety drops, you have an easy streak on both sides. And with that as Arch, you're kind of waiting to see if all of these guys rush. You're just dumping it off to the running back. You're dumping it off to the tight end easily. If he drops. If multiple players drop and you only have 4 rushing, then you have enough time. You have mismatch 5 O linemen right here against 4. If he drops into a zone. If it's a man, you could easily find right here on the in route. Again, only if these 2 linebackers drop. So let's see here. What happens? Dropped. You have a one-on-one here. You watch him. Look at his helmet. He's facing this way. He's worried about this wide receiver right here. He's also worried about this running back right here. Because if he falls in, and this is a zone, if this is actually a zone, he's going to fall. But actually it comes out to being manned up. You see 1. Drop down with 2 high safeties. He's taken out of the game. He's completely out of the game for Arch Manning. And you see he's making his reads. Right here, he's probably looking here. Now he's looking at the tight end. And then if all those aren't open, then you just throw to the running back. He has to make his reads. Watch the tight end. Finds this little gap. This linebacker's dropping on towards this wide receiver. If you have a good enough arm, you are fitting this ball in right here. And what does Arch do? Fits the ball in right there. Perfect throw. It wasn't a first down. It wasn't pretty, but it was a great throw. I believe they ended up getting the first down after this, but it was a great setup to the all right, now from this angle, this is a better angle for this play. Don't have to worry about this wide receiver out here. You see the blocking assignment is not good because you have a center blocking nobody. You're not expecting number 0 to blitz here. You're kind of expecting him to sit into this zone right here because if he blitzes, this middle zone is open. That is not a very good defensive game plan, especially when 3 wide receivers are lined up on the outside with a tight end over here. You're expecting him to sit. You have 2 edge rushers out here. They're not even lined up properly. They're lined up in a spread formation. That's what I meant to say. And if these 2 get beaten, Arch is gonna have to step up in the pocket. And one thing about Arch is he overuses his legs. In a lot of moments, he doesn't really trust his arm this game because one of the deciding factors is his accuracy. Now, I don't have the best clips to show you how bad his accuracy was this game, but I showed you on the first clip, a lot of the plays, he's either sailing it over him or hitting the ground below him. That was kind of the keys to the game. He couldn't hit a throw, and I only have the highlights, which suck, but he could not hit a throw. And so you're going to see on this play, he's going to get pressured. See the arrows come up. And it worked perfectly. The linebacker sits. He's offsetting. You dump this ball right here to this tight end. And maybe he gets lit up here. It looks like to be a zone. Obviously, it is a zone because this cornerback is sitting here. Too high. You can easily make this throw here, but he just decides not to. And he runs. And then that gives number 14 the perfect opportunity to break through the center. Look at how open this was. The safety, they're playing a deep shade. And it worked perfectly. 2-on-1. 1 here. He's dropped to cover here. He's dropped to make sure that nothing else happens. Like the tight end comes back on a zig like this, right through here. He's doubled. You can even hit the running back here. And he can't do that. He just overextends with his legs. One of the saving graces of this game was his legs. He was able to extend plays. He was able to run for first downs. That's what he looked good doing, but he did not look good throwing. And as a college starting QB, you have to be able to make these 2 throws. This cornerback is running. He's running towards the ref. If you dump it off here, he can at least get 5-6 yards for you. Maybe get the first down. You have to be able to make plays like that. Now, I don't really want to just dog on Arch this whole video because I do think he showed something. Like I said, I just wanted to show something. And while the accuracy was really bad, which is why I wanted to make this video, one of the shining lights of the game was his ability to make run plays. Arch is going to get a QB draw here. You're going to see it's a zone. Nobody is covering this cornerback. This linebacker is going to drop here, most likely. So it's pretty much almost taking him out of the game until he realizes it's a run play. For defensive linemen, compared to 6 offensive linemen, 3 linebackers, so they can easily close any gap. Actually, no, that's a corner. But 3 covering the middle of the field. They can cover any of these gaps. You're going to see Arch is going to get the ball, and he's going to skip a little bit. Why does he skip? You need to let your blocking develop. And you're going to see right here, that is a tough gap to find coming from Arch. You can easily run forward, maybe get like 2 yards with this linebacker here. He's waiting. Watch right here. There's 2 linemen that you're going to follow. As a runner, you are following your furthest blocker. If 52 drops, takes him out, you can easily get forward. Maybe you're taken out by 8, but you got a nice little scamper here. I think that's the tight end. If the tight end drops right towards this corner, you're easily just going to zoom out here. All you got to do is just make the juke. Because look, you have a couple yards in between here. You're going to have to speed through here. So you're going to watch. He gets the block. And now, all he has to do is scamper through here to get the first down. He's moving inward, expecting him to find this gap. He's not expecting him to find the gap outwards. He's going to follow out. He's going to scamper for a couple yards, which he looked really good doing today. Another thing Arch did very well was his pocket presence. Sorry, I don't know why I said it like that. His pocket presence. If I'm Arch, I'm looking here, and I'm kind of shitting bricks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 D linemen. And he's kind of taking a step back, but you're really hoping that they all blitz. Honestly, you were kind of hoping they all blitz, because you're going to see he has a little zig. There's a lot of little short routes, and if they blitz, one of them's going to be open. This guy's going to be open over the middle of the field. No one's going to be able to cover it. And it's not a blitz. He drops. 2 of the players drop, so now it's a 5v4. Sorry, it took me a long. I didn't pass kindergarten math. This running back is blocking, but he's going to run out for a route. He's blocking for a couple seconds, and then he's going to shoot out when there's nobody pressuring. And then look, covered. You may be able to get one of these guys. He's taken out. He's going to run like a little post. He's going to be taken out of the game. So now Arch, all he has to do is make his reads. He's covered. He's literally out of the game. He's covered. So what does Arch have to do? Make a play with his legs. So what does he do? Instantly, he's looking down here, sees he's down, he's covered. What does Arch have to do? He's done his reads. Get out. Instantly. He's very quick at making that decision, which is very good for a young QB. A lot of the times he'll stay in the pocket, try and force a throw. Arch doesn't do that. He makes a play with his legs, one thing he's confident in today. So what does he do? Makes the play, gets the first down. Putting his body on the line for it to make that play. Putting his body on the line with that. It was a great sign for any Texas fan. Right, too far back. Not only does he beat the defender, he's able to put his body on the line, take a hit, and then he literally gets up and just makes the next play, which is, again, a very good sign. All he has to do is work on his accuracy. You can't be missing throws the way he did. And again, I wish I could show you more clips of him throwing, but he couldn't hit anybody. I know it says 6 for 7 here, 20 yards, but it didn't look good doing it. 20 yards after 6 attempts is not going to get you any. It's not going to get you any NIL for sure, 100%. And later in the game, he does make a couple good moves. He does make a couple good plays, which I'll show shortly. But he at one point was like 6 for 9, and then he was like 7 for 15. Like, you don't even know what happened. You feel like you looked away, and then you look back, and that just happened. Now on this play specifically, Arch does run. He runs for first down here, and that's not really what I want to focus on. I want to focus on what he does in the pocket as it's collapsing. So it's a four blitzing D line. He's got 5 O line, 3 on one side, 1 on the right side, and you're gonna want to have to watch this develop. So I'm gonna give it a couple seconds. So you see, it looks like a deep concept. Covered. Looks like man. And he has a blitzing linebacker coming straight through a gap. Maybe even 2, if you're looking at it like this. You have 2 blitzing linebackers in a very open gap. The center can't cover both of them. So Arch, seeing this, not open, nothing's open yet. He needs more time. Watch him step up in the pocket. Steps up into the pocket. Then he realizes he can't hit this running back here because that could easily be downhill, and that's 6. Can't really hit this here because if this linebacker drops, he's going to intercept that. He might be able to hit 0 here, but it depends on what the safety does. Can't hit anything in the middle field. I can't see anything what these wide receivers are doing. Can't really do that, especially if he's stepping up, looking in this direction. These are the only 3 you're really going to be able to hit here, because I don't expect him to see everybody at once. Your QB, you can only look one way. You can only look in one direction. And since he's looking this way, he's stepping up in the pocket. These are the only guys he can throw. So you see, wide receiver 0, he's breaking in. He can't really hit that. 88's down. This is covered. Everything's covered. He's looking this way. Again, can't really see what's going on here. Someone's behind him. He's covered in all directions. This linebacker is pretty much shading him. So what's he going to do? Take off. And you can see it was a QB spy. As soon as he goes to move out of the pocket, this linebacker comes to drop on him. He has a blocker. You're really hoping this guy can't really get to him. And all you got to do is just beat him on the outside. And there's nobody around. First down. He's shown flashes of something. Being able to step up in the pocket, luckily avoid a pass rusher. And if he can do that consistently, he has 3 straight unranked opponents. 3 straight. That should be light work for him. If he can get the accuracy issues under control, then I think Texas is going to be a huge problem. Their defense was incredible today. 7-0 in the third, 12 minutes to go against the Natty favorites, or the defending national champion, and it was a final of 14-7. If Arch Manning can hit throws here, it's not even close. It's probably 28-14. And if he's able to get his... Sorry, I'm taking a long time because I'm trying to think. If he's able to get his confidence, it looks like. It didn't look like he had any confidence in his throws. He had confidence in the pocket. He had confidence in his running. He had confidence in his reads. But he just couldn't throw the ball accurately. He's got all the confidence, it looks like. He just doesn't have the ability to throw the ball correctly. Now, after watching all these highlights, I do think he showed something, which is exactly what I wanted going into the game, but it was for the exact wrong reason. He did almost everything perfectly outside of throwing the ball. And he did make a lot of errors coming into it. There's a lot of times he took sacks he shouldn't have. There's a lot of times he wasn't able to fully get through his reads. There's a lot of errors that he had made. And he did show something exactly like I wanted. If he can fully get the accuracy issue down, maybe it was just a big game against Ohio State. He was freaked out and he couldn't get at his accuracy right. I saw a lot of people saying that, which I do agree with. I do agree can hold a part in it, but you can't let that get to you as a starter, as a Heisman favorite, as a first overall pick. If you want to make it to the NFL, you're going to play tough teams. If a tough team is your kryptonite, you're not going to make it very far. And his accuracies were like too horrendous to even think about. He was like 15 for 29, which looks pretty bad. And if you actually watch the game, it was even worse. Sure, I do agree. His running was good. I can't say elite. His ability to escape the pocket was good. His ability to throw on the run was decent. Obviously, his accuracies weren't very good. His ability to escape the pocket was also very good. But there's a lot of times he would overuse his legs. There's a lot of times, like we saw in the one clip, where he would try and run when there's very clearly two open reads. There's a lot of times he'll overcompensate on a read. There's a lot of times he'll undercompensate on the throw. And all in all, if he really can like clean up the act, if he really can get right in the coming weeks, he has 3 unranked opponents coming up. 3. If he can't get it right in those 3 games, I don't even know if he'll start another game in college. He may have to go down to like lower tier schools, because like Texas shouldn't be able to take another risk on him. What he did was the reason why they lost. There was not another reason why they lost. The defense was incredible, and you couldn't capitalize on that. How could you not capitalize? If you told me my opponent scored 14 points, I would say we won. If you told me we scored 7, I would fire my entire offense. All the coordinators, I would reset, because you can't let your defense do that and then come into the next week and tell them, yeah, do that again so that we can win. And I think if Arch is able to take control of this locker room, if he's like, yo, that was a bad game, I need you guys to trust me in the coming weeks. You don't have to be perfect, but I will be perfect. Then I think there's a good shot for Texas to make a run of some sorts. But if Arch's accuracy is the same he was, I see Texas winning no more than 6 games, because he was actively the reason they were losing, and he has to be on the field for all the offensive drives. So that's kind of my take. I could see him having a good future. I could. But if you were to watch the whole game and see what I saw while watching the game live, he couldn't even hit the ocean if he was throwing out of the boat. It was that bad. A lot of his completions were check downs. A lot of his completions were easy reads. If he's able to make it into the next week with the confidence to make the throws again, I think Texas could make a run. And I'll leave it at that, because I'm kind of talking in circles now.